Yo, welcome to the best Mira setups on every ranked map part 2. I uploaded part 1 over a year ago, and since then some maps have been reworked, some new or not so new maps have been added to the ranked pool. This part is an update to the older video. If you haven't seen part 1, click on the card in the top right corner and you'll find way more setups for maps that are not included in this video. But in this video, you will find not only setups for the 4 most recent maps, but some extra setups for previous maps that were not shown in my first video. So watch till the end to find out. So let's start with a reworked Outback. The Mira setup on the most common side, Laundry Piano, won't help you fight with Dorm's push, but you'll have an easy time defending the push from Bull and Shark. The mirror window in the laundry is right next to the default rotate, and it helps pick opponents in red or even the games room. You might be wondering if it's easy to open the mirror from the dorms. Still, if attackers are in dorms already, you should be contesting them from many different angles anyway, and losing that mirror window is not necessarily a big loss in that situation. The other mirror window goes on the wall in showers, another threat for attackers in the bull. This wall should be reinforced anyway to protect the shower player from bull wallbangs, and now this guy has an immediate information about any attackers in the games room. On the green and red room side, we're gonna start with a mirror window in the closet. We place it on the left side since we don't want to be uncomfortably exposed to the angle from outside. Obviously, don't forget about reinforcing the hatch above you. You can open the holes in reception if you want to see even more from your mirror window. Sure, the attackers can somewhat look into the green room from outside or from the kitchen hallway, but you can easily avoid hanging around there, and the player behind the mirror window will be easily aware of any opponents there. The other mirror window can go on the wall between sides. Next to it you usually have a rotation anyway, but you're probably wondering if I'm forgetting about the green door. Well, since I don't think there's any other strong mirror window on its own, I would tell you to call for Azami's support that places her Kiba barrier on the blue box, so the player behind the mirror window should not worry about the doorway anymore. Azami is a fantastic pick on this side anyway, so you're not sacrificing anything. Last one for Outback, party office side. I'm a big fan of this mirror window in the connector. You open the left wall so you extend into the garage. You can easily try eliminating people entering the windows. If they're in already, you can peek them off the mirror window, and if you feel like you need to, you can just fall back and reinforce the opening. All you need is to keep the external wall closed. Our second spot is the classic, which we know from the older Outback. From party room we can easily see bull window and the games room. Your teammate in office is able to shoot any aces or Hibana's charges if you're missing electricity. Whether you open the game walls is up to you, but I'm more interested in making a rotate into the bull, since the table blocks the angle from outside, and now you have the access to the hatch for an easy garage flank. You can even have a nice pixel on the bull window even without mirror. Now on to Emerald Plains. We start off with the most common site, admin office. After we surely extend into the meeting room, we place one mirror window looking into the office. So we have a very strong angle onto the outside window, so no attacker will easily execute from the window. As you know, there's a window behind you, but you can use Castle or Azami for that. The other spot might surprise you, but hear me out. We place the mirror window on the soft external wall. This might seem like a meme, but I got so many frags of it I need to show it. Basically, when attackers rappel up on the balcony or go up the ladder, you can easily see that and wallbang them before they even exit the rappel. So if you place your mirror window low, they won't see that until they rappel up. But if you place your mirror window high, you will be able to see if there's any opponent on the roof. That might be the only risk of this strategy. In general, if you had reinforced this wall, attackers would have been very comfortable on the balcony and happy to work with the windows only, with no threat. So try this out and call me out if you lose. In the kitchen dining site, we don't have anything extraordinary. As you've probably already been doing, I can confirm the mirror window looking into pantry is very strong as you defend the main breach. They won't even breach your mirror window when someone can easily impact trick you, or you just sneak into pantry behind the cover and shoot any charges off the wall. The second mirror goes on the wall next to the rotate between sides and allows you to safely peek at any attackers entering from the fountain. Be sure to check your back since both mirror windows are facing the same side. Our last side is of course Bar Lounge, and you might be familiar with the first spot where the mirror window looks into the billiards room, since it's great for picking at opponents on the external breach or just the side door as well. The second one makes it all a bit trickier because we're placing it on the stock wall. We're gonna have a little opening for firing, and you might feel like there's too much open space, but if you just want to move around the site, crouch behind the bar so you're not seen from outside. The mirror window facing billiards cannot be opened from outside, but a defender on it can be seen if he widely peeks at the external wall, although no attacker will be holding an angle when he's seen from the other mirror window. Therefore, it requires some team play and communication, but if you're really frightened, one Kiba barrier fixes all of that. Just remember there's a hatch above you, so reinforce it. On Stadium Bravo, I'm guessing you usually play Armory Archives first, so since this is basically border, we're gonna do the same setup as on border. Mirror window on the main wall makes walking up the stairs a nightmare for attackers. Even people on Rappelled are not a real threat to you unless we're talking about the sandwich window. Gotta be careful about that. If you have no Jaeger on board, you only need to worry about grenades now. Second mirror window will be in the small office as our second layer of defense. You can even reinforce the hatch for extra safety. Then we go to the kitchen where we feel like on Coastline. First mirror window will be placed on the wall between sides with a rotation next to it. Very good angle on service, quite visible from the kitchen doorway, but ask Azami to cover your back. Second mirror window could easily go on the triple wall, since you can extend into the lobby with the possibility to fall back and reinforce. Look, this area is way different than on Coastline. You can safely lurk here. You can use the barricades for sound cues as you fall back or your roamer dies. The mirror window allows you to establish your position and peek at attackers coming in the lobby. On the penthouse VIP side, we're gonna have a mirror window on the triple wall facing penthouse. We've got a rotation next to it as usual, so we can see into penthouse before rotating and deny the window jumping. The mirror window itself is blocked by the bomb chassis, so it won't be opened directly from the VIP window. The other mirror window is going on the wall leading to the hallway. We can look into office and the concrete wall covers it from the VIP window. And here we are on the newest map, Nighthaven Labs. On the commander server site, we can do an extension into the connector and we will place a mirror window next to the rotate. This will help us safely rotate around and peek at any attackers coming from the meeting hallway or the external wall. You can also eventually fall back and reinforce if you have an option. Our other mirror window can be placed in the commander center. By default, I would place it on the wall between sites, where we usually have a peek holes anyway. We can easily peek electrical doorway and somewhat look into IT. Although we can be a bit more aggressive and place it on the warehouse wall to make a direct rotation next to it. We can peek at the warehouse door and always make sure one of the defenders is playing warehouse, as he's gonna fight with the IT push. Now we go straight to the basement, where I have plenty of spots for you. First, let's take a look at the setup in Nanotech. We have a mirror window facing assembly, perfect for holding the main wall breach. We have a cover on our back, but there's one downside. we cannot get an angle on the plant spot in assembly on the left from the exosuit. That's where the other mirror window comes in. With this one we can look into exosuit and eliminate any opponents coming down the stairs. The other option is to build up your own corner in tank. Now you're denying cargo push and you can see if someone is entering nanotech. You can even open nano walls into exo to see even more, but consult that with your teammates. You only need to remember to place a right mirror window first before reinforcing the left wall, because if you reinforce the left wall before placing the right mirror window, it won't fit in. And of course, the greatest of all, the mirror window on the external wall. Notice that the left side is a dead end and the opponents can only come from the right side. Therefore, you're able to surprise them and fight with them. After getting rid of some attackers, with a little distraction you can reinforce the wall and be safe again. Lastly, we are in storage and control room. Here, nothing crazy. One mirror window next to the rotation between sites. Very safe spot, and we can peek control doorway. Another mirror window comes on right next to it on the single wall. Basically for information only. Not necessarily the best usage, and the Twitch drone might make your life miserable, but I don't feel confident about placing it anywhere else. Maybe you can come up with something. Let's start with the extras. I would like to update the Mira setup in kitchen on Coastline. For some reason, in my first video I placed it on the left wall, which makes it very uncomfortable to move around the site. I must have been drunk or something, but of course the mirror window on the right wall will be overall better. I remember I was very obsessed with the fact that now the canister can be opened from the kitchen doorway, but some other defender should contest that player anyway. Most importantly, now we have an option of having a teammate playing Azami who can nicely cover that entire angle with one Kiba barrier. On Chalet we've got one more site that has a nice Mira setup, and it's of course bar gaming. The mirror window in the connector allows us to deny the entry from the double window or the hallway. We will place the second mirror window on the wall behind the bar. The bar covers the canister from the fireplace lobby and allows us to see into the gaming room before we rotate next to it. The presence of that rotation allows the connector player to peek into the fireplace doorway from gaming. Our last mirror setup today is on Skyscraper's tea room karaoke site, which was not included in the first video for some reason. The first spot in tea room has a purpose of making the geisha push awful. We reinforce one of the karaoke walls for some safety, and then we open all the geisha walls to see attackers from tea room. And apart from that, we need to be aware of opponents coming up main stairs. Second mirror window goes on the wall in tea room that faces karaoke. We open bits of karaoke walls so we can monitor the window, and with that we can deny the plant in the corner by the window. You can still get some sort of an angle onto the restaurant stairs, but remember to have a teammate covering your back in shrine. That is all for today. If you've forgotten about watching the first part, or you just wanted to watch parts 2 first, you can click now and find the setups for other maps as well in my older video.